Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and as promised, we got ourselves another PTZ, but this one is going to be really interesting because this company caters to the market of Europe, Asia, and the Africa side. Because again, we've done a lot of cameras, and I've heard a lot of y'all say that you can't get access to them, but guess what? This company is catered directly for you, and we're going to go check out this Saber PTZ by Angekis. You know I always pronounce the name wrong, but let's go ahead and open it up, see what's inside, and see if it's good enough for your media ministry, and just let it speak, the product speak for itself. Alrighty, so just let y'all know that this was provided by the company here. They did not pay for a review. They are compensating me for my review, but the opinions are my own, and they are seeing this the exact same time that you are. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and open this up. Also, this product, I am not keeping this. After the review and me testing it out, I have to send it back to them. Alrighty. So, similar box size and all this other good stuff. Let's open it up. Make sure I'm there. Oh, we got a little microfiber cloth manual. Do have a wall mount, which is good. Got some rubber feet and some placements here for the screws. Now, I never really show you this. I do use these sometimes when I'm doing an upside down mount or different ones to just line up the screws if they don't fit properly. And I'm just trying to remember the order of where everything is. So let me go ahead and put this stuff back. No, let me keep the manual out so I don't make a mistake here. All right, so again, this is in a completely different form factor than some of the ones I've used. So we have ourselves a Type B USB cable here. Have a power cord. Can we tighten in a little bit? Have some mounts and screws here for drywall. I believe this is a power brick. Yes, it is. I'm gonna keep this aside, but you know, my whole thing is I like my cameras that are PoE, and it makes it easy to install. So I'm gonna set that aside. Well, let's put it right here with the hopes that it is. And the camera itself. Feels about the same weight as all the other ones. A RS-232 connector here, cable. There's something else up under here. All right, we got our remote. Now, is there anything else here? No. So no ceiling mount. It's just going to be a regular wall mount. All right, let's set this aside here. Now let's take a look at the camera. Let's flip it over here. All right, so we have our mount. We have some dip switches here. Now this is a 20X NDI model, so we're going to be pushing that. It has our default IP address here. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. All right, so some dip switches here. That's why I left the manual out so we can see what's going on. We have some 3 placement holes here to help keep stuff aligned, and then we have our quarter thread here. DC 12 volt power. I am hoping this is PoE. I'm gonna believe it should be. We have our 3G SDI connection right here. HDMI, in and out RS-232, NDI, Ethernet, and USB 3.0 and power. All right, really straightforward. A lot wider than the other cameras, but again, all the other mounts and everything like that should work exactly the same. All right, folks, so I stand corrected. If I mispronounce the name, it is actually Angekis. That's the brand that's made this PTZ. So now that we got the name properly done, let's cut back over and let's test out powering this thing up. So the thought is, does this provide PoE? And we have our connection here. Let's see. We got a light, and yeah, it is. So yay. We have PoE power. Let's go ahead and connect the USB here. Now it does have multiple connections. SDI, Ethernet, I mean not Ethernet, but yeah, actually it is Ethernet because it does have NDI. SDI, we have a USB 3.0, which we're going to test out as well here at the same time. And the thought is, can this go do multiple outputs over all connections at the same time? So I didn't realize I still have vMix open here. So let's see. Like I said, I'm being careful with this because I have to return everything. So let me make sure. Most of the time, stuff like this, I watch the video in reverse to make sure I have everything. So let's connect this, and thankfully the cable is long. And on the back, it showed what the IP address is by default. And again, I haven't tested this, but I'm just really wishing any manufacturers that do PTZs, please set your stuff at DHCP. It just makes it a lot easier. All right, so which computer should we cut over to do this? I don't think I actually have a camera that's pointed over here so y'all can actually see it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and open up OBS. And I'll probably do this again on this system. But this is my other display here. So I'm gonna connect the camera over USB and see, do we get something? And I will do this again on the screen so you can see. And actually it does show up. It shows up as Angekis NDI Full HD 20. And you can't see it, but let me do a projection on that monitor. And there you go. There's the, I know it's small, but that's the image that's coming from the camera. So if I get out the way here, so you can see my hand going there. Oh, and you can see OBS on this screen. But that's cool. So we're able to get HDMI out that way. And I have my HD base T connector. So let me see, get this turned on. And hopefully we should see an image on input number 2, and we do on the ATEM. So for right now y'all can see this is the image coming from HDMI out. So we have pretty much, this is allowing us at least minimum dual outputs at the same time. Now I do have a SDI to HDMI converter, and I have an SDI cable around here as well too. Let's see, can we get all 3 outputs at the same time? Alrighty, so I have a bidirectional converter here. And we're gonna do SDI in. Now I did make this cable really fast, so hopefully I didn't have a problem with it. So we will, from the SDI out here. And I need an HDMI cable. And we will now have this connected to all 3 outputs. So what would be the benefit of doing something like this? Now, just say you have this camera set up in a conference room or something like that, or kind of like how I have mine set up right now. I have my entire system connected to an ATEM, and that's conducive for the setup I'm in, or say that's your ministry or something like that. But yet and still, you want to be able to say you want to have a Zoom meeting, and you don't need to have the whole house system on. You just need to have just the camera on for that one meeting. Now I got an image and it's flickering, and I think that's my HDMI cable. I think I got another one around here, a higher quality one. And yes, we do. Yay, it's right here. So this will be on the other output. But like I was saying, you could have this connected to different setups at the same time. So say this again is in the fellowship hall or something like that, that you want to be able to connect it, but then you can have another connection going somewhere else. So again, there we go. We have USB out going through OBS over here on this system right here that you can see. We also have it on our two outputs. HDMI is going into input number 2 on my ATEM, and then output number 8 is going from SDI that converts back into HDMI just for my current setup. All right, so now, but that's 3 outputs right there, but we also have a 4th, which is NDI. So let's cut over to my desktop over here, which I don't have the camera or nothing on. And let's see about getting some NDI action to see what we got going on. And then we're going to connect to this and make sure we can navigate and hook it up to our PTZ joystick. Alrighty, folks, so we're here on the desktop. Let's go ahead and cut over to the desktop, and then we're going to actually try and connect to the camera. All right, so I haven't used this view in a minute. I want to give it enough view so everybody can see. So we already know what the IP address is. So, but let's try a couple of things. First, let's go to Advanced IP Scanner. Now, it said that's what the IP address is, but let's just make sure that it's not on DHCP. All right, not really seeing much of anything. The main thing we're looking for are those arrows that will show that there is some type of network access going on that we can connect to. All right. So it was pretty much assumed, I didn't want to assume that maybe it's not set to DHCP. Not a problem. And this is where we're going to go to our network. We're going to go to this one. We're going to change it in the range of what that one is. So that would be 192.168.1. something. So I'll just do 22. And on the bottom, it said it was 188 or 118. We'll figure it out. The gateway is typically 1.1, the same thing as the DNS. All that's dependent on your IP address range. All right, so there we go. So now, let's look at the advanced IP scanner. And let's change our range. And let's see, do we see anything on the network? We only see my computer. Interesting. Oh, there it goes. There's 188. So there's the other camera. And then you can see there's the arrow showing that it's doing something. So let's go ahead and remote over into this. Alrighty. I'm just going to assume I didn't look through the manual that is admin, or it might be admin password. And there it goes. Admin is it. And we have access. So I think this is a kind of common, it must be a common type of interface, because a lot of the running looks exactly the same. Now the buttons look a lot bigger and different, but the interface is very familiar. All right, so let's go over here to settings. We have our encoding settings here, all right, where you can change the frame rate and everything like that. Video transmission, so you could have RTMP right here and stream directly from the camera. There's our NDI function that is on, so we're going to test that out here in a second. We have SRT. A lot of people are starting to use that as well too. We have our audio settings, so we can have audio coming in, where we can change our image, white balance, auto tracking. Interesting. We're going to play around with that. Image quality, digital output. So it's outputting at 30 frames a second. Let's bump it up to 60. And I'm not sure if, okay, reset just moves it back. Let's push it to here. There's no save button on here, so probably it just saves automatic and we got to come back. So if we come out, go back, all right, it's there. All right, let's go to Ethernet. Let's put it to DHCP, RTSP encrypt, interesting. We do have our Visca, and I just turned on my controller here. Let's save that. Success, we did it. All right, we got a firmware update. So I don't know if a firmware is available, but I'm not going to go over that, but it's there. Reset options, reset the image settings, reset and reboot, reset and reboot, and then there's just a regular reboot. I'm going to do that reboot to kick off the IP address change. And here's your account where you can change the default password. And we can turn this on to set our time. And what am I at? -4. Update interval. I'm going to do it every 30 minutes. And I'll use that network time server. All right. So we got everything there. So now let's reboot it. And then let's, all right, and it's turning around now. So what we're going to do is let's get our network back to DHCP, and then we are going to search again because we're looking for the FHD video conference camera. Set it back to my regular network, and then let's log back into this again with this. So we're seeing that we can get output over USB, we can get output over HDMI, we can get output over SDI all at the same time. And we're just waiting to see. There it is. So it's 132. So let's open up another browser here, 192.168.0.132. All righty, so we are here. All right, so now that we got this up, let's go ahead. Let me minimize this right now, close this. Let's open up my NDI studio monitor and let's see what we can pick up here. And there it is, right there. So we're doing all of these outputs at the same time. Well, wait a minute, my SDI one just went out. Make sure I didn't. All right, my converter says it's getting a signal, but I'm not getting an output. Let me change out my other converter and let's see. I wouldn't think that, I mean, I wasn't paying attention to see if we lost a signal or not. But let me change this to a different converter and let's see. So we don't have a bidirectional here. We just have our regular here. And this converter is broken. I knew I had one that was broken. I couldn't remember which one it was. Flag that one as DOA. But let's try this converter one more time and let's see. So as you can see, we're getting power. And I guess I could connect my other ATEM to SDI and see if we get something. All right, so now that I got this, you see it's too light, so we're getting a signal here. It's just the main thing is we're not getting a signal out on the screen anymore. Let me shut down our NDI feed and that doesn't change anything either. The USB is still working. The HDMI is still working. So at this point, I want to think it's maybe my converter. That's what I'm thinking. That is very strange. Let me see. I have, it's right here in front of me. I have our little mini HDMI capture card. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the camera to that. And let's see if we open up OBS, can we get a signal with that? That way we can verify if that is the problem or not. All right, let's turn off our display. Let's bring OBS over here. Let's go ahead and connect this to our computer. And I'm going to say the HDMI is hot. I can feel it. It's very warm to the touch. All right, so we got that connected. Now let's go to our capture device here and USB video. All right, so we're getting the audio from somewhere. Not really sure what in the world is going on. Maybe it's the frame rate. That, you know what? That is what we changed. We changed the, let me actually redo this again. I'm going to disconnect this capture card and I'm going to connect it back to the ATEM. All right. So while we got this, let's go back over here, go to our settings, and let's change this output to 30. That was it. Now I got an image on the camera. So let me change this to the Black Magic one so y'all can, well, that's going to be interesting. Y'all ain't going to be able to see that because I'm looping back on itself. But so if I did that, there's the camera, the PTZ. So I'm actually going to have to loop all of these in a multi-view so that y'all can see it. I think that would work easier for everything. So let's do that right now. All righty. So we have everything up right now. So obviously you can see me right now in what's going out here in the upper left. To my right, I have the HDMI out. Below me, I have the SDI out. And then all the way over in the OBS screen, that is my other system getting the camera feed from over USB. So, and then with all of that being done, we're going to open up another NDI monitor and we're going to connect this to the camera all at the same time. And we're going to let that run. So these are all our outputs right now. As you can see, this one right now is this one right here is the NDI. And then over to the right is the HDMI. Then down below where my picture-in-picture is right now, that is the SDI. And then the other one is USB. So all of these are being outputted at the same time. Really cool. So let me get this synced up to a joystick. All righty here. Let me get my light out the way. We have our IP joystick here that's already set up. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. We can do this manually, or you can do through the search. Honestly, you can go here to inquire, pick your camera, and I've already actually got it. So we added it manually inside of this. So if we come out, where's my escape? There we go. So we have it connected to camera number 4. This is my joystick from church. So that's why I made it to 4, because I don't want to mess this up, because I need to put this back in place for Sunday. So now let's go over to Inquire. And actually, no, I'm sorry. We're going to go to Setup. And we're going to add IP to Visca. All right. IP address 192.168.0. oops, 0, 132. Enter. The port is 52, and that's from that website. 52381. Enter. Cam number is going to be number 4, so we can use this button. And it says it's connected. So let's try it again. There we go. Now we're connected. Yay. Let's look on up. Awesome. All right, so let's cut back over here. So pretty much based off of what we got, I am going to, I unplugged the power cable for the converter. I was like, how come I'm not seeing the image? Again, I'm using the SDI and we're converting it back to HDMI to connect to my HM. And now we have an image. So if I switch this over so that y'all can see on the super source, we're going to switch this over to camera number 2. And there you go. So there is the joystick back there. And if we do a little motion movement here, so we can pan this on down and you can see my work area and everything over here. So really, really cool. And again, I like the fact that, again, most of the other cameras I've been reviewing, unfortunately, because y'all have told me about it, is only been available in the US, so in Canada. So this is to give you a good option of using Angekis type of cameras in your area. There will be a link down below if you're interested in them. And again, I thank y'all for Angekis for sending it out to me. Love to be able to review it, because this is one of the things that a lot of y'all have said who in other areas all over the world outside of the United States, you like the cameras, but you weren't able to. But guess what? These are available in your neck of the woods. So let me know if you have any other questions. Again, thank you, Angekis. This is going back to them. I don't keep this one. So this is going back. So let me know. I'm going to probably hold on to it for about 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'm gonna send it back to them. So please, if you have any questions, please let me know down below so I can test it out, kick it around, and all the other good stuff. So again, you have output over SDI, HDMI, over NDI, and USB, and you can use all of those at the same time, which is awesome. So thank you again. If you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. We will catch you on the next video. Later.